Hey guys, welcome back. As always, my name is Leyzar, and today we're going to be checking out the 54th Warframe set to enter the game on October the 18th. We're talking about Dagath. Or was it Dagath?
Dagath. Dagath. Dagath.
Dagath.
Dagath.
Dagath.
Dagath.
Dagath.
Dagath.
Dagath. Dagath.
Dagath.
That's Dagath.
Her first ability is called Ward Sight. This is a radial attack that looks very similar to Aqua Blades. It's gonna be seeking out enemies, dealing its damage, and then flying off. And the damage type is viral damage. Her second ability is called Doom. It's a frontal cone-like ability dealing instant damage to your targets and, more importantly, applying the Phantom Wrath Curse. The Phantom Wrath Curse is instrumental when it comes to synergies in Dagath gameplay. For example, if the enemies are affected by Phantom Wrath when you hit them with your first ability, Ward Sight, you're going to be dealing extra damage, and you're also going to be triggering the curse to again deal extra damage. Essentially, it's easy to see which targets are affected by the little sight over their head. Oh, and killing enemies while under the effect of the curse does spread the curse. Her third ability is called Grave Spirit, and this is your survivability and damage passive. Once active, it's gonna be granting you extra critical chance, and if you are to be hitting enemies which are affected by the Phantom Wrath Curse, you're gonna be getting a critical damage bonus, or at least that's how Rebecca put it. Furthermore, if you die while under the effect of Grave Spirit, instead of dying, you're gonna be sent to the Phantom Realm. You're gonna hang around a couple of seconds and then you're gonna be coming back. However, this will trigger a cooldown on Grave Spirit. So basically, it's a get out of jail free card, and it reminds me of Nidus' passive, though Nidus does lose stacks. Her fourth ability is called Kali's Cavalry. You summon a bunch of horses which trample your enemies. However, if you're gonna be hitting enemies which are affected by the Phantom Wrath Curse, you're gonna be stripping away enemies' defenses, so I'm assuming armor, shields, etc. Not only that, you're also going to be triggering the curse to once again deal bonus damage. Essentially, you gotta keep your curse up on your enemies and use your other abilities to deal damage consistently. Survivability is going to be coming from your free ability, and you're going to be getting one get out of jail free card. On the gameplay showcase, it looked like the cooldown on Grave Spirit was about 25 seconds, but we don't know what stats will affect that cooldown. Perhaps power strength will bring it down, or perhaps some efficiency, duration, etc. Time will tell. Finally, her passive is called Abundant Abyss. This one has a chance to increase the yield you get from energy orbs and health orbs. So think of Arcane Energize, but this one works on health pickups as well, and it doesn't have an internal cooldown, according to DE Rebecca. And that is pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm also going to be pasting the whole segment from the dev stream, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. And don't forget to subscribe. The Abyss of Dagath is an absolutely huge mainline update, and we still gotta talk about Grendel Prime, Hydrate rework, Companion rework, and much more. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.
What was really important, I think, for, as we get through her abilities, is the idea of an undead vengeance, curses, and a lot of damage. So for her abilities, we wanted, well, you'll see her ultimate may or may not incorporate a Assault of Caves, because her lore is all going to be given to you in the context of a Nabarus tale, which we'll talk about a bit after. Ooh. But you'll get to see some of that. But for Dagath, her first ability is Word Sights. This is a radial from you. You're getting these kind of spectral sides that will target enemies. So you can see here, you can cast it. You'll get a big spin of those word sides, dealing damage, targeting enemies, and then flying off. So this is kind of your initial damage burst with her, where you'll be getting those word sides.
And giving viral.
And viral damage type, yes.
Cool.
Now, her kit is really focusing around, which will shock you. We have never used an ability called Doom before in Warframe. So her first ability is Word Sights. It's doing viral damage. It's cleaning areas around Dagath, and then off you go to target enemies. But once you cast Doom, it's going to be a cone in front of Dagath, and it's cursing enemies. So these enemies are doomed. The curse lasts a duration, and these cursed enemies get what we're calling the Phantom Wrath Curse. So she has a cone in front of her. She's hitting enemies with Doom. If you hit your your Word Sight on them, it'll do additional damage. It'll do more instances of that Phantom Wrath Curse, which creates this sickle over their head that does additional damage instances. So once you see that sickle above their head on those doomed enemies, as you're hitting them with their Word Sight, you're really going to be spreading a curse and delivering continued damage in the form of Doom and in the form of that Word Sight. Oh, we got some enemies up here. Just like Hades' hate. Curses are for the Tenno. Then we have Grave Spirit, which is kind of her damage buff and survivability ability. So Megan, if you've pressed 3, you have your Grave Spirit on. If you die while this is active,
I'm trying to die.
So Megan has died. She's now taking a spectral form, which is a instance in where you're kind of truly a grave spirit. This has a timer, and then once this wears down, you will have this ability on cooldown. So this is very much a, while you have it active, if you were to face death, you will enter this grave spirit realm, and then you'll come back, and then that ability is on cooldown. However, with grave spirit, you get crit damage buffs. So you are doing increased critical when you have it active, and if you're hitting enemies with that Phantom Wrath Curse, which is achieved via the Doom ability, it's that big build synergy. So you want to doom them. You want to have your 3 up, which is called Grave Spirit, and you're just kind of going to be cycling through, keeping that active, doing more crit, cursing enemies with the Doom, and then your 1 is obviously going to cascade damage in all that rotation. And now for the ultimate.
You ready?
Well, I don't know. Do we need a quick recap of all the abilities so far? If you press 1, you'll get your word sights. Press 2, and then you'll do your Doom, which will do the curse, and then 3 is your crits are now enhanced. And if you attack people that have that curse on them, you'll do additional crit damage. And of course, in this state, if you die, you'll enter the Phantom, the Spirit Grave realm. And then the ultimate, this is based on her lore that you'll learn from Grandmother. This is called Rakali's Cavalry, which, why don't you just hit it up? Summon a charge of caves. Rakali was Dagath's loyal companion. You'll learn about her.
Cool.
Actually, why don't you hop on?
Oh, why don't I?
Yeah. As you know, in open worlds, you can, Yeah, so this is her custom cave cosmetics that Rakali had adorned on her. So currently, Megan's cave has these cosmetics, which you'll see will be Rakali's. So what to say? There's a lot of damage multipliers here if you're using synergies of that Doom Curse on enemies. When you cast Rakali's Cavalry, if you hit enemies that have that Doom Curse, you're going to be doing defense stripping, you're going to be doing additional damage instances with that Ward Scythe over top. So you're really going to be looking at the battlefield and you're going to be seeing all these enemies. You're going to be charging the cavalry through them to do lots of damage on multiple hits. You're going to be tearing down their defenses. You're going to be spreading that curse, which is really important to the gameplay, is if you kill an enemy while the curse is active, there is a spread mechanic. And yeah, you're just going to be tearing through enemies with this cursed frame, really. Cursed energy.
And the passive?
Oh yes, her passive. We have a name for it, which
Abundant Abyss.
Abundant Abyss. Yeah. So the passive is essentially when you get energy or health drops, there's a chance that they'll be 200% more effective. So you're kind of increasing the yield of what the enemies are leaving behind, be it their energy or their life essence in a health orb. So those pickups will have a chance to just be much, much stronger. So similar if you're using things like Arcane, I think it's Arcane Pulse or Arcane Energize, you'll be able to get us just a stronger payoff from energy and health orbs. And there is no cooldown on it once it triggers, I think, is our current planning. You can quote me on that, but the quote might be wrong. So then it's your fault if I'm wrong. But yeah, so this is Dagath.